managed to win both the fights. That's crazy. I would have assumed that at least they would have been forced to actually try and plant the bomb, but the fights happened before any bomb plant is coming through, and that's going to be a huge turnaround.
There's that SMG coming to hot bit right at the end. He was waiting patiently throughout the entire round for his opportunity. That's an important kill for Grim, but he had the jump on the player. He had the jump on, I believe, who was that at the end? Halzerk with the Galil, and still not able to pull it out. So good clutch from Complexity. And it's Navi's turn to go back and force buy down to pistols and a scout on head trick.
I am seeing 3 5.7s. That's rare.
Yeah, changing seasons. The 5.7 is in style.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's been a good pistol all throughout. Just maybe outdone by some of the other ones. There's a couple of dinks there. Floppy down on the ground.
That's a nice sequence. Doors opened, M4 going to work. Good find from Bit for the equalizing kill. I think they can still protect that weapon. I think the weapon had fallen forward, so now they can have eyes on it at the very least.
Yeah, and it's tempting for the Navi side to try and go and pick it up, so yeah, it's right there. Maybe a bad idea to give it up, although, yeah.
Maybe a bad idea to throw a flashbang.
I was gonna say, why does that always happen? As soon as you pull out a nades.
It's just one of those unexplainable factors of Counter-Strike. Headtrick's got the information, he's spotted one. Nobody's moved yet from Navi to start rotating over. Just now that shift is starting to happen, but Complexity is already using utility and knocking down the front door. Bomb site lost, and Navi's gonna have a decision to make.
Headtrick certainly did not want to stick around for for any kind of scout heroics. Trying to close a little bit of time, and they do have armor on 3 people, so maybe they just say that's it. It's not worth it. Get the Galil instead. Try and fight in the next round. I can appreciate that. Probably nothing would have come of it if he would have stuck around to defend the bomb site. Yeah,
and also obviously they're not going to buy in the next round if they're to get wiped out here. So just keep the weapons in hand, and you basically have another dangerous save round, and especially because you can drop that 5.7 over to Bit, and you have a Galil in the hands of Electronic. So 2-1, Complexity with an early lead.
How are you feeling about Overpass these days? What's your? There's been some map discussion coming up recently. I feel like Mirage is always in the community crosshairs, so to speak.
Like Mirage gets a lot of unnecessary hate. I feel I really enjoy Mirage as a map. I don't know. Overpass is in a weird place because it used to occupy that space where it was like one of the more tactical maps that we have.
Yeah. And
now it feels kind of I don't know. I just don't have the same sense about it anymore.
Yeah, I can't explain it either, but there is something about it that it's not putting it in a great place.
It's been losing a lot of favor among teams, even since when I was coaching 2 years ago. It was starting to, or a year and a half ago, it was starting to kind of just talking to other people within the scene, other players and coaches. It was a map that no one was really all that much enjoying to play.
So maybe a candidate for replacement. I think the little info we had is it's been in every major since its release. So it's never been one of the ones that's been cycled out.
So is Mirage.
True. We've got some candidates. Train's still out there somewhere. They've been reworking Tuscan, I guess, finally.
Yeah, they added it this time to the rotation.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I'm interested to see how that's going to play out. I always like Cash better than Tuscan, but I mean, I'm not going to quibble.
Yeah.
It's basically, or not Cash. Why do I keep saying Cash? Mill. I always like Mill more than Tuscan.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, we can. So there might be some actual map rotations happening in the future if the community seems to be enjoying it and it plays competitively.
Yeah, it's cool stuff.
Cool. Well, technical pause coming up here, so hopefully nothing too bad.
It looks like they got something fixed because they're still having their chatting and everything like that. This man on the screen is massively important, I think, as obviously as we all know. But I've grown to just like really, the more I hear Blade talk in interviews and give interviews, the more I just kind of really appreciate the way he talks and thinks about the game. Swapping out some notes here. Can't talk, but you can read.
I like even the pre-game interview that he was giving, sort of some real honest and transparency with regards to like difficulty of someone like Headtrick coming in who might be like a talent, but the system that they're playing in at a high level, it's very, very hard to, just slot into that and expect to not have any issues. So.
Well, also in trying to take a little bit of pressure off the stand-in who, it's one thing to stand in for a team. It's another thing to stand in for a team in place of the best player in the world. So, I mean, I think it's easy probably for Headtrick to come in and probably put a lot of pressure on his shoulders to kind of deliver in a similar fashion. I think, not just publicly, but I would imagine privately as well. Blade's just like, look, don't be simple. Don't try and be simple. Do your own thing, and don't feel the pressure whatsoever. Easy thing to say, not exactly an easy thing to always accomplish. Smiles. He's happy.
That's good. I mean, they've come up with something good at the beginning, so they should be.
I'm actually super excited to watch Hulzerk within this team, especially throughout this week, because I know, you know, even when he was added to the old Dignitas roster with all the Swedish legends, I feel like we didn't get a chance to see Dignitas really competing at the highest levels all that much, so I feel like I never got like a really good, clean, consistent look at Hulzerk. I know some of those guys have some very positive thoughts and things to say about him as a teammate and as a player, so this is a cool opportunity for him, I think.
Yeah, it is. We talked about it yesterday. Europeans escaping into the NA region to qualify for majors.
Yeah, he was the tweet. He was like, "I don't miss the European qualifiers," and you can understand why.
Yeah, man. I have some memories of some really good Hulzerk AWP clips out there somewhere. So I'm sure we'll see some of that down the road. Maybe he's especially happy not to be fighting Simple today, but you know, but maybe having an opponent that he can actually have a little bit more success against. We'll see. Everyone still kind of seems like they're tuned in and ready, so hopefully we can get back into the swing of things. Yeah, there we go, and for not too long.
Boom.
I want to see Complexity keep the momentum now that they've managed to turn around even losing their pistol. So just keep it going. Don't let Navi in too early.
I wonder, I'm really curious. One of the things about Navi that, I mean, obviously, it's kind of a cool glimpse having Simple out of this team just for this, at least for this event. Just seeing, you know, structurally in terms of the system, how important he is for everyone else's success as well. I'm kind of curious to see who's going to step up in his place, because there's obviously a lot of options with Electronic and Perfecto and Headtrick, or excuse me, not Electronic, Perfecto, and Bit as that kind of consistent core. Like one of those three guys you would expect to be the one to step up.
Without a doubt, yeah, they still have a lot of firepower and confidence on that side, but guess we'll find out. A little bit of a trade. Electronic on the Galil, able to take down Floppy. That's a good wall bang from JT, and he's able to drop Electronic right away. But the scout has shown up, and look at, again, the 5-7s are doing so much damage, and they actually managed to defend the bomb site. Still a minute on the clock, but this is a problem for Complexity. How did they recover this round?
Yeah, a huge problem. And they're going to rotate back around. Fang going all the way to long. So Hulzerk's going to come join up with them. They've got one player to deal with. That's going to be the stand-in. That's going to be Headtrick rotating up the stairs with the scout. Is he going to commit himself to this bomb site? Because Fang's going to be the one to lead the way out long and start probing into the site. There's the smokes going down. So a 2-on-3, likely post-plant situation. Hulzerk can hear the footsteps, but they're taking a lot of time, Complexity, getting comfortable with this bomb site.
And once again, Headtrick doesn't really need to fight this too much. He just has to live, but they're going to try and hunt him down. That's a nice move from Fang. He keeps going maybe a bit too far. With the bomb down in a 2-on-2, would have been great for him to stay alive. Hulzerk now on his own. He's going to take care of Sundai Young, but Perfecto's still up there, and he's got a massive health advantage with that AK on the other side. And Perfecto will win the 1 versus 1 and get Navi back online with just what, a Galil and a scout and some pistols.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I think that's Fang just being, getting that first kill is huge. That's a very smart, aggressive play, but then not reining yourself in. Don't go for that second kill. Just back off, play it safe and bank. Play the 2v2 with your teammate. Put Hulzerk in a really tough spot, but this is just a good setup. First, the initial double peek from Navi on the first player towards sandbags, and then obviously that player, they lost track of him at Toxic Barrels because he's not peeking off contact. He's hard baiting his teammate to get that one extra kill.
And even losing the battle at the beginning down at the B-bomb site, they lost some of the rifles that then came back to haunt them, both the AKs up there. So they had enough time now to go and pick those up and come back to the A-bomb site. A little bit of an issue as well. Up on Headtrick and also one on Hulzerk. So we could see a little bit of a fight. It'd be interesting to see how that plays out if they actually find each other. I mean, it's a giant map overpass, which I think is one of the reasons why some players have started to take a dislike to it. It's just that it is so huge. So maybe they won't, but I would like a little bit of an AWP versus AWP fight.
Yeah, we always enjoy that.
Yeah, get a feel for you know, who's having the quicker reactions on any given day.
Molotov to force JT out, but no one is pushing towards sandbags to punish it. Even the flashbang makes JT feel real nervous. Fires off some shots to keep the aggression at bay. Oh, if they walk into this, good shot from Headtrick. Floppy's going to try and trade it off, but that's a great angle. Double kill for Headtrick with the AWP, a 5-on-3 for Navi.
Hard angle to clear as well, because if they try to flash him too deep, he's got a teammate that's really close and probably immune to a flashbang that'll hit him. So a lot to work with. And again, they're playing very passively on this A bomb side. Once they have the advantage, they don't really want to fight.
In that follow-up second angle from Hetrick, it's so hard to trade. It's such a slight gap that you're kind of just, it's an easy aim for the Opera to kind of line up the second frag. Grim gonna start pressuring the site. Desperate situation. 3 on 5. They need to find these kills. 1 at bank, 2 over the truck. There's the first, but way too many crossfires to deal with. And a picture-perfect Navi defense gets them 3.
They seem really confident, Navi, once they have a little bit of a read in just staying real far back on that A bomb site. They just don't even care. Yeah, that one, yeah, it's not going to be a fight that favors the AK on the other side.
I think there's like a certain level of philosophy in it too when you're playing a team like Complexity that's kind of struggled and hasn't shown a whole lot of success. If you're Navi, like, you don't have to really, you know, don't overcomplicate things. If you're Navi, you don't have to kind of do any kind of crazy moves or rotations. Let's see if they can just beat you standard Counter-Strike. You know, make them, force them into the one who has to make the decision and make the aggressive plays.
They certainly have the confidence. For good reason. Bit there with the AK, chewing them all up. It's a nice quad kill. Bomb is on the ground, and he's looking for the ace. We almost had one yesterday. And Floppy's going to steal that one away from Bit, so unfortunate. But still, so far so good. Great round. Hetrick, by the way, is 8-2 at the moment, so he's having himself a nice start to this game. And, I mean, you're right. Like, if you can just play better Counter-Strike in terms of, you know, who has the aim and everything, maybe that's enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think the name of the game for Navi is just, I mean, mistake-free Counter-Strike. Like, not only are you playing a team that you're massive favorites against, but also with the new stand-in as well. Again, you know, keep things as simplified as possible. You still kind of have a situation where SDY is coming in and still probably not as comfortable as you'd like. So, you know, it's going to be fun watching them throughout this group. But certainly here in this inaugural match with this lineup, yeah, just chill. Bit with aggression. Spotted one, but didn't like the fight that he was offered. Backs away.
Difficult fight to recommit to, because you're really all in out on long like that. You can't easily escape, so probably didn't want to get stuck out there. Floppy taking an advanced angle here at the L-bend really early on. I like that. I think that's a fun trick. Sometimes you can get there way before the CTs even realize, and they can actually back off into you without even realizing.
We've seen this is, I think, the second time early on in this game, just in round number 7, that we've seen Floppy kind of go for this aggressive play over towards sandbags to peek into the B bomb site. And last time he got picked off by a 5-7 and a nade combination. This time he sees absolutely nothing, but obviously somewhere he wants to emphasize. Navi's happy to just sit and wait. Decent amount of utility still left in the coffers. Hetrick with full set of nades. B bomb site is the finishing act for Complexity.
Yeah, for sure. Floppy's been waiting at this corner the whole round. Very, very patient. See if he's going to get the reward that he really wants here. Electronic takes a lot of damage, but he's still alive. And Perfecto in the meantime, another headshot coming through, this time on Floppy. So didn't get what he wanted there. Now down to 28 seconds. And Electronic is feeling the pressure from all sides. Nice run and gun from Grim. And he's going to find a second headshot to bring down SDY. That's absolutely massive. Smoke to block off the AWP at the sniper spot. And back into a 2-on-2 with 15 seconds. They need this bomb plant right now, and it's been interrupted already once. Bit coming through with a kill, and Hetrick on the other side, pushing through the smoke, and able to get the round. That is, I think that's a pretty decent execute coming out, all things considered, from Complexity, but they needed a bit more space at the end.
Well, the big problem too is Perfecto just has a great double kill over at the pillar to start that out. And again, I mean, just buying time for rotations, allowing a flank to come in over to, you know, down the stairs towards sandbags. He does a great job, and he was pretty much the only player there kind of actually fighting. Everyone else from Navi supporting with utility, and Complexity not able to trade that kill for some time was brutal. 3-round lead now for Navi. You feel it? You feel it's slipping away? You feel this? Is this the?
It's, unfortunately, it is, you are getting that sense, aren't you, that...
It's a bit early to get that sense, you know? I mean, it is only 7 rounds in.
Yeah, it's true, but I think the problem is the moment of excitement happens when they win the follow around. Like, they lose the pistol, but then they pick it up, and you're like, oh, okay, here we go. There's something to work with, but now it just feels like Navi are shrugging it off and just saying, oh, yeah, whatever. We're right back into it. They don't seem... like they're really phased at all.
Yeah, and here's a round where they choose to have some aggression when they know they're up against the pistols, peeking deep through Monster. Nice little pick from Hetrick as well with his AWP. 10 kills now for the stand-in Opper. And it's nice and clinical.
What a rare thing to be tested on the battlefield with Navi like this, if you're Hetrick. Even if it turns out it's just for, you know, like 1 week or something like that, that's still That's a rare thing to be thrown into. Put that on your resume.
Yeah, certainly. I'm looking at it from the other angle as well, where, you know, I don't think we're going to take too much out of this complexity game necessarily, but I mean, if you look forward to some matches that Navi will have against G2, against Liquid as well, if you start seeing a world where this Navi team has this core and this structure provided by Blade to bring in stand-ins with no, like, think about the fact that, you know, they lose their in-game leader, Electronic steps into the in-game leader role, they win their first event. SDY comes in as a stand-in, they win their first event, they get second at Cologne. Now they'd still be deadly after the break here in Blast, even with another stand-in of Head Trick, and then all of a sudden, you gotta lay a lot of credit at the feet of Blade to be able to just have so many moving pieces while maintaining competitiveness. Very, very difficult thing to do.
And from the academy side too, you know, like obviously some of the philosophy could trickle down into the academy teams, but also if you can sometimes pluck one player out and be like, hey, come play with us for like a week, and then you're back at the academy, but now you have crazy experience. Like it's a crazy luxury to have.
And also when you consider as a coach, I apologize, I'm a little bit of a Blade stan these days. The more I've thought about it over the past month, but you think about all the players that he's worked with over the years, and like his underrated in terms of talent development and an eye for talent and picking out a talent and young players. He's had his hands in a lot of the stars coming out of the CIS region for the entirety of CSGO.
Definitely, yeah, definitely a history that that's probably worth, I don't know, making a little bit more out of some content one day.
Imagine selling Modesty for a high sum over to G2 and then finding Head Trick and being like, yeah, we'll just build up another one.
We'll do it again.
Rinse and repeat.
6-2 the scoreline as we head into the 9th round. It looks like Complexity want to try and clear out long, possibly with a run boost. Oh, right on top. Can work, but Head Trick had his crosshair pretty much exactly where he wanted. I was worried for a second to fly over the run, like the extra.
Yeah, did he fall short? Did the run boost fail, or did he choose to stop short on it? Either way, brutal start to the round for Complexity. 5-on-3 turned into a 3-on-4.
Yeah, it did seem like they were aiming a little bit further down, but maybe not. Perfecto, ooh, that's a decent flashbang to set it up with, but Perfecto just not even worried at all. Going to be bringing down Floppy regardless. JT and Grim now, 2 versus 4, and it doesn't seem like this is going to be possible at all, although with a couple of kills, might have to take that back. Great stuff into a 2-on-2 and a dangerous nade being thrown out. It lands on top of JT, but that could have got Head Trick killed as well. Molotov on top of it. It's going to at least do a little bit more damage, force him out into the AWP, and JT, he's out of the round. Now it's all on Grim here. He's done well so far. He's got 8 kills. Yeah. Oh. It's definitely not. You're right. He's on the wrong side. That's a big issue, but he does get the first one there. Has to almost peek and look for where Bit is. Make sure. Oh, and it's one more headshot. 10 kills and a triple in the round, and Grim saving Complexity on this one.
Yeah, but he really had to take that fight. He had to make sure Bit couldn't cross over. That's not a fight that you really want to be put into a position. That was his only option once he got into the 1v1. Still. Right through the scope. Still good shots. There's some of that crisp aim that we know Grim for. That's what made him such an exciting prospect previously. This is a great shot. An unlikely clutch to win. And you gotta say, if you're Complexity right now, one of the things that you can kind of hang your head on, Grim has actually looked pretty solid on these kind of as like the 2nd or 3rd player coming into this B bomb site. There's been 2 or 3 rounds in this game already, even in losses where he's been able to grab 2 critical kills entering into the B bomb site to allow for a plant. Here he gets those 2 and the 1v2 clutch.
They really, really badly needed that round. Could have stopped what Navi were doing. And that's what, they fight that back from a 2-on-4. And it happens really quickly. So probably also a little bit of a momentum boost for the Complexity side. Just feeling like, all right, they might be Navi, and we know that they're really good, but at the same time, we can pull out some magic all on our own. Head Trick out here with the AWP still. There's still some money in the bank for Navi, even losing that round, so that's the other luxury, I guess, of putting some rounds together. I think they end up winning 5 in a row.
Yeah. Ooh, I like this from Fang. This is bold. He's going to get rewarded. There's the first kill on the Head Trick. Bit's got to turn around, and he's got that kill as well. Nicely done. Fang, low HP, had to just hold his ground. SDY eliminates 1. Floppy snuck in as well. So a little bit of bold, quiet, sneaking, aggressive plays from Complexity has caused some chaos in this defense, but even still, it's a 2-on-2 situation.
Yeah, they're really switching it around a lot. I don't think Navi really understand what's happening anymore. A little bit of confusion on their side, potentially. Electronic, though, in the right position, sneaking in, but he's got no cover out here. He's going to get found by Holzerk. Molotov is great, and JT, again, feeling the wrath of it, but He's going to get saved. This time, no AWP there to catch him as he runs out. And Holzerk with the final kill.
That's such a smart play from Floppy to go for that quiet yet aggressive lurk through monster underneath the ramp towards the B bomb site right after the play that Fang makes, because he knows that's going to pull so much attention. That's definitely at least pulling the rotator, and Fang's gotten a kill, so all of a sudden you realize, you know, he's gotten 2 kills, excuse me. It's going to pull the rotator, and if you're Floppy, you're like, okay, there's one player here at this bomb site. I'm going to sneak in, and maybe I get lucky timing, maybe I get lucky with an angle, and he finds another kill for his team. So really, really smart decision from Floppy to make a play there.
You could really tell looking at the minimap how out of position Navi ended up being in a number of different occasions in that one round. So nice way to manipulate that defense and make sure they were just all over the place.
Ricky, if I die, I'm also ignore. Don't try and kill him.
All right.
All right.
Last second conversation to get into it here. 11th round.
Navi's out of money.
They are.
This is the final buy that they have. If Complexity can string one more together, we've got a half on our hands. This could be interesting.
Fluffy trying to get through once again. See if he can be a little bit speedy. He's tried it a number of times. And it's ended up being very patient in this position. Seems like Electronic is aware that something could be happening. Flash to come through right as the smoke was in his hands. This is a great hit. Double entry. And they even see the third player back there on SDY. So they could probably chuck a couple of nades at him to make sure he can't really re-engage in the battle that easily. Wow, that is amazing. They should be winning this round.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a save for Navi. If they don't get a kill here pretty soon, okay, this might pull them. This might keep them here a little bit longer. There are no kits on the Navi side. This would have to be fast. And I don't... Oh, excuse me, there is one kit. SDY has one.
But Fang knows that there's no flank coming through at all. He's been checking that out. So, yeah, they have such a good read on where the Navi players are. No point in it. Navi going to have to just escape the round. Complexity fighting back. A little bit surprising. Looked like they were going to get... We just brought it up, you know. It feels like it's slipping out of their control, but they found a little bit of grip strength once again.
Yeah, this is a cool call. I mean, nice and simple. Just to walk over to the B bomb site, let that smoke plume, and we're just going to do an execute and see what we find on the other side of him. And obviously, it's 2 entries. 5-6.
Good to see... Ooh, hold on. Well, that I can't.
Yeah, you can't do that one.
Barely do the American one.
Glad you called it American.
Good to see Floppy finally get a little bit of a reward for having sort of fished out that angle and trying to play that position a number of times. And he looks super confident in it. Even if they Molotov it out, he's just gonna he's going for it. So nicely done. 5-6 the scoreline. But to be catching up. And now some saved rifles here. Head trick. So blind for a long, long time. I'm actually impressed he didn't panic more than that. He was like, all right, I guess I'll just wait. Eventually we'll escape. If they steal this round back, Navi, that would be really heartbreaking for Complexity because they have them in a really tight spot.
I think this is one of those rounds where you just tell Head Trick with the AWP, like, you know, you got a little bit of more freedom here. Obviously going for an aggressive peek down the stairs. Now he's got to rotate over towards the B bomb site, which is exactly where Complexity is heading. You've got you got Bit on the other side of the map starting to clear out bathrooms as well. So he's calling out that there's no presence here, which is why the Opper Head Trick feels comfortable rotating over, and it's a stack.
It's a huge stack. A lot of pistols and an M4 as well. It's going to work out so well. Perfecto on the double. And Holzerk and Fang, they are left outside of the B bomb site. That's unfortunate. They had a lot of time, Complexity, and they got really deep in the tunnel. They must have felt like one good flash around the corner, and that's all we need. Now we're down to 40 seconds, and they already won a single 2-on-4 earlier in this half. Doing it again seems like it's a little bit too much to ask for.
Yeah, probably not likely. Head Trick with the angle towards sandbags. Oh, that's a fast flick over. Not accurate, doesn't land. Holzerk gets dropped, and they know exactly where Fang is. So this round is definitely over now. 1 kill for Fang. That's not bad. 1v3, but you only got 18 seconds on the clock. Oh, okay. Another headshot.
What an angle to take a fight at. 10 seconds, though, and the bomb is down there. You can see Perfecto's really playing with him. Fang's gonna get 1 more kill, but he's just so far out of time. 5 seconds. He can go straight for it, but... Oh, he's ready for it. He actually could have won the round. That's spectacular from Fang. What a great round.
Yeah, I'll eat my words there. I felt that was over 20 seconds before that occurred. What a cool sequence from Fang. Even the heads up. He knows what's coming next. He knows exactly what the plan is to stop that plant with only 5 seconds remaining. Very few bullets in the chamber. Difficult shot to hit, but what an inspiring attempt at the clutch.
think especially the second one.
He wanted it so bad.
For me, he had it all figured out. That shows some really cool game sense. I like it. 13th round, though. Navi do steal it back with a nice stack and some save weapons. They get to fight another day. Bit out here, throwing some bullets over top of the smoke, but they're coming right through. Double peek in, and it's a good job for Hetrick to at least revenge that kill. Otherwise, it would have been a perfect opening for Complexity.
Yeah, Navi's got to be a little bit careful. Complexity starting to really kind of disrespect the smokes and some of the utility that Navi's finding, and they're really going for some tricky timings in their first moves. Bit cut off, but Hetrick there to find the 1-for-1. Now he's going to get aggressive up highway. He's got Grim right behind the wall.
So scary when you're on your own out here with the AWP. Not a lot has to go wrong before there's no way out. Smoke will allow him to slowly crawl back into it. And a nice headshot. Sundar Young coming up with a kill.
Now, there's no presence over at the B bomb site, which there's been frequently throughout this half. You've seen Floppy over towards Sandbags at that corner. You've seen players kind of challenging and spamming through Monster with no utility and no presence outside B. Navi's actually been able to have the read to have 3 players at this A bomb site for some time now. They're prepared for what Complexity's coming with.
Tiny little peek, you're absolutely right. They have a really good understanding of what's coming up. 30 seconds now, a little bit close. Oh, I can't believe that's a headshot. JT able to pick one of them up. Electronic traded as well. And JT's got a little bit of time. 20 seconds, running up the stairs in front. Perfecto, and certainly being heard by JT. Swings for it, and an instant headshot. What a beautiful round. I can't believe they recovered this one either.
Yeah, no, this is a huge clutch. Another one to keep Complexity alive into this. Perfecto's going to want that jump back for sure. That jump up onto the garbage can, that's going to be something he wish he had back. Good trades coming into the site. I think the real loss here for Navi is both the players inside the bomb site. There's the miscue of the round. Both of them playing behind dice boxes.
Yeah.
Neither with any real place to go. We saw previously early on in the half, clean A defense with multiple crossfire setup. One at dice, one at truck, one at bank. They couldn't pull it off this time.
And it must also feel a little bit weird for Navi, because I think they actually peek right on top of the flashbang, and then one of them at least just walks into a bullet, and you must feel like, well, we knew where they were. We were actually interrupting their, attempt at taking the bomb site, and somehow we still lost. So it's kind of hard to explain too. But what a great find. Complexity really coming up with some. They're on the T side. The fact that they're actually doing this well makes this way more interesting.
Yeah, this game, this map just got very, very spicy. Could be looking at an early upset. 7-6, 1-round lead. It's been 4 the last 5 for Complexity.
And if it is, I mean, it's not an upset we could lay at the feet of Hetrick. He's got 14-6. He's done a great job. But obviously, Navi as a whole, like we said, structurally are going to be functioning differently, no matter what. And Complexity, I think, just also playing maybe better than I was expecting.
Sure. I'll allow it. I mean, Fang and Grim are both having great games, and I mean, every game that Complexity comes into, those two guys are going to be win conditions. Those two guys particularly are kind of like the young potential in North America. Floppy, I think, has already established himself enough to be considered, a solid force to be reckoned with.
I think that's my problem. I keep forgetting how good Fang is.
Yeah,
I don't know why. Like
a lot of people did. He was on the rise before he joined Complexity. Yeah. His kind of time in this organization has been really rough and probably not a good testament to what he's capable of.
Confidence. He's so ready to take these fights. Gotta be a little bit careful. 9 bullets left, down to 6 here. Still hasn't reloaded, but they've taken the bomb site in great fashion. He swings so wide that it's really hard for anyone on the Navi side to stop them from coming out of the restrooms. The rest of the team, they're going to be joining from that side, and it all works out great. Navi are going to have to save the rest of this round, and they're tying up the scoreline. It's 7-7 leading into the 15th round. I think for me, Grim, obviously, because of his time in Liquid, that's a lot of exposure, so everyone kind of knows his name. And then Floppy, obviously, as like I think an up-and-coming star for a long time.
Was it Cloud9 as well?
Yeah, Cloud9. We know how good Floppy could be, right? So maybe those are the two people for me that end up always overshadowing Fang whenever I think about it. But you see it right here. He's got an enormous amount of confidence, and I mean, he basically almost won that 1 versus 3 earlier, which And even if he lost it, you still have to sort of nod your head and say, well, he knew everything.
Well, I mean, even the consequences of losing, I think it was a 1v4 to start and he gets 3 kills.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just even the consequences of taking that many weapons away. And now you start to see Navi having money issues the last 2-3 rounds of this half. And it's like, okay, even in a loss, look at what Fang has been able to deliver. It's just a weakened CT side economy that they can expose towards the later stages of the half. What a great run Complexity is putting together. I think this is, what, 5 of the last 6 now?
Yeah.
Super impressive.
I actually think this is great. It's good sometimes to be surprised. Sometimes when we do this pick'ems at the start of the day, or if you end up doing it over at Blast.tv, which you should, you can win random things over there. I think that you can win a Lego ship, I think. I don't know if you care about this, Jason, but
I love Legos.
yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah.
Like a giant super tanker. But yeah, so yeah, if you do that, I look at a match like this and you just think, well, this is easy. Like, of course I know Navi are gonna win this, and everyone else apparently did too. But then you get these kind of, you know, shocking situations, and that's more enjoyable, I feel like. I'd rather watch this than Navi crushing them, you know, 16-4, and you're like, all right, we knew
Sure.
it. It's good.
Yeah, a couple
little
nice
bit of
clutches
variety,
in there. Yeah, good look at Complexity.
It's good stuff. Perfecto almost catching up to Hetrick, 13 and 15 kills respectively. The rest of them are doing pretty good, all right. It's not that bad for the rest of them, but
I'm just imagining Jason Lake back in Dallas right now at the offices, watching on the big screen, big bowl of biscuits and gravy in front of him, some good Southern comfort food,
cigar.
enjoying his morning. Yeah, sure, just like a 8 a.m. cigar. Nothing hits quite like it.
Cigar. Some bourbon. I don't know how this works.
I'm in.
I mean, he's in Texas after all. That's how it is. Perfecto. Flash again. He sees it coming, though. That's a nice little turnaround. A lot of damage and a team kill in the middle of all the confusion. Not quite enough for the kill there on Grim, but it is close and head trick. Quick flank coming through and opening that door to take down JT. SDY, he's ready for the battle, but he's got to be careful. This SMG is not that much stopping power, but the flash, I don't know if that might have been a friendly flash. I'm not even sure. Fang is going to eventually get the kill, and it's another flank to come on top. 1 versus 1, and Bit, even with the SMG, probably has the advantage here. Fang, he's been so good. He needs the instant headshot right here. He's already in danger. Flash around the corner, and Bit just looking for another couple of bullets, and he'll win this round, and at least they'll get the last one. But it's Fang again! This time, a headshot to bring down Bit, and they'll come up with the lead instead. Oh, wow. This is going to be such a huge first half for him.
Yeah, 3 big clutches for Complexity in this first half. That's absolutely massive. 8-7 lead, upset on the cards. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon.
I have no idea where he is. He can go B.
20 seconds. You
Oh,
have
you have the bomb.
Oh, you have to run.
Let's kill him, let's kill him.
Kill him,
guys, sorry.
kill him, guys.
Oh, dude.
Kill
Do we
him,
have
kill
time?
him, kill him, kill him. No, I don't have time, I think. Just try to kill him, though.
We're coming.
Oh, I didn't
I'm
see.
clearing B.
Coming tunnels.
These tunnels, I think. T-spawn, I think.
Likely, yeah.
Oh, yeah, right, sure, I think.
I'll tap B.
Just scout him.
Thanks,
Oh.
God.
It's okay. It doesn't matter.
I didn't
We
even
win the
set
round.
the bomb.
Ready? I smoke.
I will be able to resmoke fallen. Mark conscious house.
Smoke.
Minute.
Mid. Maybe split.
Window.
Blind.
Window, under, stand
Under.
back, stand back.
Back, stand back.
That B.
Nice.
Nice, that B1, that B1. Let's go mid B.
Go B, go
We
mid.
have to go mid B. That B second.
Nice.
That B1 more. That mid,
Mid,
one more
last
mid.
mid, last mid. AK window, nice, Nexa. AK window.
Let's go!
Nothing
Flash
second. No, on pick.
Wait.
Let's go close.
Mid pushing.
I'm a peek.
Two.
I'm a peek second man.
Fallen 3.
Could be here now.
Second mid.
Boiler,
pushing.
I need help.
Where?
In
boiler.
boiler. Abs and second mid.
Coming.
One more here.
Slope. Pull back now.
Abs on. Abs and second mid. Abs.
Banana.
You left too short. You left deep.
Can be boiler.
You don't be long.
I have
a follow.
I can still do abs more, guys.
One more mid.
One second mid. The far back. Careful, he's going mid.
I'm in boiler.
I'm good B. I have smoke.
He was long corner, Jackie.
I'm adventuring.
Boiler.
I left abs, okay? I'm flanking holes. I'm peeking long now.
You want to go long?
Boiler.
Mid. Boiler.
Yeah,
Nice. Good job.
I don't see anything.
Dancing yellow.
I don't see city. There's. I'm
Okay,
tripping.
jungle.
Can I boost this stuff, Dylan?
Let's pick stairs together, guys. You ready?
Wait a bit. Ready?
Go. 3, 2, 1.
Dead.
One more stairs, one more
Stairs,
stairs.
stairs,
Dead.
Go CT now.
We have city.
Dead ramp. I'm only ramp behind.
Yeah, should be one
City dead.
episode.
Let's move
I'm
up.
pushing city.
Open jungle,
Flash.
open jungle.
Nice, guys.
I
I
took
Don't
off,
take
I
up, don't
took
take
off.
up, Madden.
Okay.
Okay, take it, take it, take it, take it.
Cool.
Here we go. We're back once again. Second half is coming. It is a best of one. So the fact that Complexity somehow get out with 8 rounds in their opening half, in part, large part, due to Fang and his tricks.
Yeah, a 1v2 from Grim, a 1v1 from JT, a 1v1 from Fang, almost a 1v4 from Fang. They got the benefit of a lot of clutches in that first half. We'll see if Navi can reverse the fortunes here. They did win the pistol round in the first half, but I mean, certainly just from a very general perspective, you'd say 8 rounds on your T side, switching over to quote-unquote the easier side of Overpass. It has Complexity in the driver's seat at the moment, which was not on a lot of people's bingo cards today.
No, it wasn't. We like a good upset to spice things up a little bit.
And a good game of bingo.
Yeah, that you spend your time on that a lot. Is that we should have more Counter-Strike bingo, shouldn't we?
Sure.
A little bit of cross. Collateral damage, I believe. Bit ran right into that, and it's another headshot. 4 in a row for Holzerk, showing his skill. We talked about it earlier. Didn't get to see too much of it in the first half, but that is a way to get started. Now, the ace is quite far away. Are they going to send him running? Maybe send some people scouting? Just SDY left, but that second kill is hilarious.
Yeah, that really was. Just clotheslines and walk right into it. We love those kills with the USP. I think Navi's going to need someone like Bit to step up and provide some energy. I think Electronic is probably going to start having, you know, he's been phenomenal individually since he's swapped in-game leader, but I think you're putting a lot on his plate now as a new in-game. We have to remember, this is very recent. So you have SDY still getting acclimated. You have a stand-in as well. You don't have his normal you don't have his normal kind of star player of Simple there that you don't really have to think about too much during the games. Electronic's got a lot on his plate trying to make this all work, so I think I got to look towards Bit in this half to provide something to get some energy in this team, because this Navi squad, while it started out in the first half clinical, efficient, just standard, you know, fundamental Counter-Strike, now it feels flat. Now it feels like there's not a whole lot of energy and a whole lot of power coming out of this Navi side, so someone's going to have to wake them up in this second half.
And I mean, what that's interesting to think about, because that is one of the things that we know Simple really brings to the team sometimes. Sometimes he will just win an odd 1 versus 3, you know.
For no reason, yeah.
Yeah, for no reason, even though he shouldn't. And that's obviously, that's a luxury. If you play long enough with Simple, maybe you don't even think about it.
It's like a handicap, right? You don't even realize you have it.
Yeah, you just only when he's gone you realize, oh, wait a minute, this is actually, we're not winning those rounds.
And remember too, like he's part of his progression these past like year or two, he's become a much more vocal leadership figure within the team as well. Like you see him constantly talking to teammates during timeouts and constantly making sure people are engaged. And yeah, that's a big factor to be missing right now.
But we always talk about Navi having such a deep, you know, talent pool, and they do. So maybe someone else is going to be getting out from under. I mean, for a long time, people have thought about this. You know, what if Bit just becomes straight up the competition within the team to try and get there? Now is his chance to try and show, yeah, you know, even if Simple's not here, I'm going to be putting up the numbers. And so far, he's still on track. I mean, he could still have a great map. So we'll see. Pistols, Deagles this time instead of the 5.7s.
There's no numbers that are really frightening if you look down like the Navi scoreboard. It's just like the impact felt of some of those kills isn't as high as you'd like it to be, and obviously that'll happen losing 3 clutches in the first half.
Sure.
So this second half is all about recovery. Deagles on the board for Navi. No utility, so it's going to be slow paced and giving these Deagles a lot of time to find some defender making a mistake, making some over-aggression, whatever it might be. There was the first opportunity. Second one coming up shortly. Bit goes down.
Good bit of cleanup here, just especially with the SMGs. Ooh, looked like he had the idea. Head trick defending whatever is left of the pizza from the birthday party.
Leftover pizza is an amazing thing. It's S tier.
But how do you reheat it? Oven or microwave?
I don't reheat leftover pizza. You eat that shit cold.
Absolute uncultured savage. That's so definitely the wrong answer.
A little bit of Parmesan, a little bit of crushed red pepper. Call it a day. Here we go. Floppy's got a chance. Electronic goes down. 2 more to find. Good flashbang from Halzerk. He was very Johnny on the spot with that one. 3 quick kills, and Complexity still winning.
And stayed alive at the end, even after the accidental unscrewing of the silencer. There's got to be a way to stop that from happening.
To unbind it when you have the M4?
Yeah, like in your config, like it just knows that it just unbinds the secondary fire when you pull. I don't know. It's crazy.
There's got to be a way.
How many rounds have been lost? Do we have the statistics? Like how many 1v1s have been lost to that? Or the jumping? Scroll.
Or inspecting weapons.
Got some culprits here. 3-round lead for the Complexity side. Navi back with rifles, and we've painted a lot of different ways that maybe Navi could, players that could bring them back in. But now, kind of time for them to show us exactly how this is going to work out. Fang, they're up close against the M4, and he's going to get traded. Grim will get one of them there, but almost JT not getting back around the corner. So 1-for-1 trade and about even damage there between JT and Perfecto. So they slow it down, Navi, with plenty of time on the clock.
Where's the next move going to be made? Very quiet across the map. Halzerk and Grim over at A. Relatively aggressive defense as Grim is just keeping an eye on long, but he's in a position to turn and help out Halzerk whenever it's needed. JT and Floppy over towards the B bomb site. Navi's gone completely silent.
Halzerk's going to go investigate. This is always risky, but it's such a cool idea if you don't know what's happening across the map to actually find out on the CT side. And they get the trade on Grim once again, so backfires a little bit with Halzerk. Oh, he just makes a huge assumption.
No, it's because with the utilities being spent, that's a little bit of a fake thrown in there from Complexity. Smokes and utility being thrown towards the B bomb site, and Grim felt like he had to bail out to get a jump on a rotation. I think he just gets punished. Headtrick obviously knew the whole time he'd been dinked he was low HP, and Complexity's not going for it.
Would you say that's an excusable thing to make a run for, or are they a little bit jumpy? Is that like the pressure getting to them, or do you think it's just like, you could also say that if he doesn't run quick and it actually is an execution, well, then he's late, So
yeah, I think that's a decision. I mean, that kind of a criticism would certainly be made in hindsight. I think his full-blown knife out, forget about the rest of the map kind of evacuation might be a little bit much, but
I prefer to make the criticism in hindsight. That way I know I'm right.
That way you know all the answers.
Yeah. It's way better. It's like taking the exam with the cheat sheet right in front of you.
Yeah?
It's great.
Do some of that too? Is that what you're advocating out to the world?
So given the path my educational, if I did, people shouldn't follow it, But I'm not admitting to anything when it's being recorded, Jason. I know enough of it.
I wonder what it's
Not
like
without a lawyer present.
I wonder what it's like for Hetrick to look down at this entire packet of notes and be like, oh god.
Yeah, speaking of which, taking somebody else's note to an exam and you're like, I don't know what any of this is.
Yep.
Fair enough. Round number 19, and Bit hanging around out by the playground. Gonna be almost fighting 2 people here, but he actually will stick a little bit further back. That's interesting. Pushing through the smoke now. He does sense that something is up out there. Doesn't really know what it is yet.
He's taken the peek through the smoke a couple of times, and he always missed the timing on finding JT's aggression. So JT at the moment, a snake in the grass. Bit might be very cautious out towards long. He'll never expect JT to be up in playground already. This should be at least 1 freebie kill. And if there's some trigger discipline, JT could have more.
Oh, what a nice shot. Halzerk back with it, and there's the discipline, there's the patience you were talking about. Gets the kill on Electronic, and that should dissolve the round here for Navi. 2 versus 4.
What a disgusting sequence for the Deagle from Halzerk. 2 quick kills, top stairs, makes things real easy for JT. I don't really know what you have left if you're Hetrick and SDY. Go through Monster quietly, no utility. You know Navi have the information, you know they have control of the map. And you got to know this is going to be a tough fight you're wandering into.
Yeah, just walk in on contact and just hope to get the first headshot, make it a 2-on-3, and then just roll with it from there on out. But it feels very, very unlikely. And they have such a good understanding here. Floppy to take down SDY, and Hetrick 1 versus 4, flashed out, and eventually taken down by Grim.
He's happy to have Halsrick in there after that round. Yeah.
Plus, I mean, I don't know if there were many other choices, but I love the idea of getting it takes a bullet here, a couple of bullets here to that, so 4 left, and he's like, I'm not reloading. I'm ready. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to be prepared for that fight. If you reload, you're absolutely dead. If you at least take the risk. Navi's getting swept aside. They have no answers at the moment. 3rd timeout used.
Now we can start to feel a bit worried, but in the opposite direction. It's what an interesting day, or an interesting way to get started. Obviously, a little bit later on today, what have we got? G2 versus Liquid?
Yeah, which is another really spicy. That's the next matchup. That's going to be coming quick after this one finishes, and that's one you don't want to go anywhere for.
Nice. Whenever that happens, I keep thinking of... Do you remember the Prince of Persia game? Like the old platform 2D ones?
Okay, yeah.
When you jump into, like... They have, like, these glass sheets that, like, cut you up in two.
Okay.
That's what I keep thinking of.
All right, that's a weird thing to have triggered in your brain.
Yeah, I guess. What an annoying game to play. Waste 100 hours of your life doing it.
No, 100 hours of your life. I've never played it.
Well, there's always time, Jason.
There's always time.
3-round gap. It's not that much, but energy you were talking about from Navi, it's not there.
No, it's not. It feels very, very subdued, and that was one of the points. I mean, we have so much conversation, obviously, around Simple missing this with his play with the AWP, but I think in the other sense, that emotional and vocal energy that he provides is one thing it feels like they're missing the most in this game, because you actually have, as you mentioned earlier, Hetrick with the off performing very, very well. 18 kills for him as stand-in, leading the way for Navi.
Yeah, and that's great. But we don't have the same fear on the complexity side that maybe we normally see. They feel like they're ready to take it. I mean, Fang was showing so much confidence in the first half, and in the second half, now that they've got the lead, I mean, it's surely just building round for round. Look at how far outside of the B bomb site they are. Far enough that they can have 3 people in A at the moment, and probably a really quick rotation. So should be a good round here for complexity. A little bit of an unfortunate timing, but they're able to clean it up without a single casualty on the complexity side.
Halsrick was like, oh man, these are ego kills coming in. I don't want to sit here and watch long. I want to turn the corner and spray down 3.
It's a classic.
4-round lead, 12-8. Not a whole lot of time for Navi to get back in this game. 1 round so far in the second half on offense. They need answers. They need them right now.
You know what they're really missing on the complexity side?
What's that?
Trash talking.
Fang got some at the end when he won that clutch.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, he got in there a bit. Well, you know, funnily enough, they've kind of been trash talking in a way. They're probably one of the best teams to find a headline, at least the previous roster. You know, between Grim saying, you know, all the pressure's on our opponents because who the hell wants to lose the complexity? That's one version of trash talk.
Incredibly.
It's not the best version of trash talk.
I like it. I like it. It's an opportunity, you know? Maybe that's something they can warm up into if they win this game. Which currently they're 4 rounds away from doing, so... moving in the right direction. JT, that is a cool move once again. Put some pressure on Navi.
Oh, that's a less cool move. Losing track of where your teammate is and shooting Fang in the side of the hip. Hetrick's found an opening pick. Navi needs this round. Fang is still being aggressive. He's still being proactive on the map. And he's put in a position where he can hear a lot of information. He can have a fast flank in a number of different ways, but he can just be patient. There's a lot of things you can gather from this spot.
Possibly just trying to get away from JT at this point in time. Oh, I can't believe Perfecto gets the snapback. It looked like he was already looking the wrong way. JT, a lot of range here for the M4, but he's going to get traded. And this is still working out great for Navi. 2 versus 4 at the moment with 35 seconds. That's maybe the only downside is the time that's left here. Grim does have a Molotov, so the bomb making its way. If everything goes wrong for Navi, that's maybe the only way they could lose this one. Time and a Molotov.
Well, Electronics is making his play through Monster right now, but I don't think there's enough time for them, or not Electronics, excuse me. That's SDY, but I don't think there's enough time to really take advantage of it now that he's seeing that it's clear they still have to move forward. So yeah, this is awkward. It's instead of a 4-on-2, it's actually a 3-on-2 at this bomb site. Oh, there goes Grim. They needed a clean entrance, and Bit delivers.
That is such a disgusting opening. Floppy tries to fight it back, but it's a 1 versus 3, and he's going to get found at the end. But again, imagine a world in which one bit maybe doesn't get that entry, but also if he actually throws down the Molotov in front, they would have to really struggle to try and even find the bomb plant. That's way closer than it should have been.
Yeah, to find safety for the bomb plant. And even that was the head scratcher for me, was SDY making that kind of information play towards the B bomb site with like 18 seconds left. You can't rotate the bomb back in that kind of time, and the flank is not going to be there in time to have impact. So SDY kind of took himself out of that round, and Navi still thankfully finds a clean entrance to get the win.
And, you know, honestly, Perfecto probably should have been dead down in that connector. That's such an odd position for Fang to be in to begin with.
You know, it's almost like there's a little bit of like a... I don't know. I don't even know what to call it, but like you just like Fang probably felt so confident in that corner that no one was going to check it at that stage in the round that he just kind of fell asleep at the wheel, you know? You're just like, there's no way I'm losing this.
Yeah.
In his head, he's like, there's a 0% chance that I get checked.
It's almost certainly a German word that sums up everything you just said. Like,
probably. The Germans would have a word for that.
They would. We'll get someone to help us out. 3 round difference once again. Navi able to pick it up. Deep nade here. Money is pretty much gone for the Complexity side. So if they want a chance at keeping Navi at a distance here and make sure the gap doesn't close maybe too quickly, then this is going to be a really pivotal round. I still love the aggression. JT all the way out there, outside of the B bomb site. Very flexible. If anything fast happens on the A bomb side, he could be there so quick. Right, so he's not really sure yet if anyone's actually in connector, but he's going to find out. Holzerk sneaking up, but the timing is so ridiculous. He almost spotted him, but now he's actually in a lot of danger. There's nobody next to him. Both his teammates are out long right now, so he's just playing this really with no help, and he can't start to scope around now. It'll give away the entire game, so goes back up, still scoped. I don't think they know that he's there either, so just a question of timing and electronic. He's not going to be quick enough for it. Holzerk, he gets the kill that he needed and is immediately traded.
Yeah, but now Fang gets to move forward. Now he gets to make his play, and this is a little bit of a double flank. Even if Fang goes down, Grim is going to be here. Oh, they spot one. That's the bomb. They got to come back for Fang. He's got another, and they still don't know about Grim. He'll find Head Trick as he wraps around, and this is perfect for Complexity. 13-9, and yeah, Fang almost can't believe it. I don't know, that's just basic excitement, and yeah.
I love it. I love the energy and almost a mirror on the Navi side, like the frustration.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I was going to say the contrast of different things, and I think Electronic maybe individually frustrated, perhaps leaking into the team as well, and a little bit of his perspective on how things are working. Again, he's got a lot of moving parts right now, Navi, with all the different stand-in situations they have going on, and it's got to be tough to keep control of everything at the moment.
And the fact that you're running out of cash doesn't really typically help either. Some deagles being picked up, but that's about it. Really high chance right now the Complexity will end up at 14. And this push from JT, the different varieties, but I mean, if Navi realized, maybe that's something that they could try and exploit a little bit. Say, all right, if you're going to be that aggressive outside of the B-bomb side, maybe eventually we're going to try and come snatch you up out there. Oof. All right, he's fine. It's all good. And deep in T-spawn, Floppy is on a mission. Again, not that it's probably needed in this particular round. They're probably going to be fine either way. But Complexity are getting a lot of map control. Even in the rifle rounds. Oh, Floppy. Oh, knife is out. I was going to say, that could have actually been a little bit scary.
I mean, look at all the confidence Complexity's playing with. Like these, we saw JT doing some pushes earlier. We saw Fang doing some pushes earlier. Now we've got Floppy pushing up as well. They're feeling very comfortable. The double push into bathrooms in the previous round. Complexity has no issue working up the courage to move across the map on this CT side.
25 seconds, and surely at this point you just try to run so that you can be sure to die. You could maybe get a bomb plant if things go really crazy. 18 seconds here, and Head Trick, he's been found out as well. Flawless round for the Complexity side, and they get to 14. This is crazy.
Yeah, I think this is where you really feel like Navi just a little bit lost at the moment. Not a whole lot of initiative being taken across the map, not a whole lot of ideas coming out from any of these players. This feels like a very passive, calm T side so far.
They need to change that pretty much instantly. 19 kills on Fang, but then Floppy and Grim right there with him. Polsark not that far behind either. They're putting up great numbers. And it started to show. Polsark, he was so flashed. And he still got the kill. JT did to follow it up. But that is, again, tripling down on the aggression here on the CT side for Complexity. Another flash to set it up. And at least they turned the corner without dying. But they don't quite get the kill on him.
Yeah, but I like that Navi's really challenging. And even coming back for a challenge after the initial kill as well. The flashbang and just say, all right, if you're going to be aggressive, at least we know where you are. Let's go chase after it. So good damage done to Polsark and Grim in a 4v4. And they've gained some piece of map control. SDY's turn to beat the smoke, but he chooses to call it off right at the end.
And to be fair, for Navi's point of view, a lot of the time when there has been aggression, it's just been JT on his own.
This is where I'm curious what Navi's going to be doing. This is what's kind of made me a little uneasy throughout this half is where's the play being made? Where's the pressure being applied? Everyone is just kind of paused at the moment and not really moving forward. Bit is looking for this aggression, and the timing is everything.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. A little bit of a flash to draw some attention away. There's nobody out here. Bit is really on his own, so he snuck up quite far. Might be hard to find at this point in time. And oh, that is an angle to get. Did get tagged himself, so Polsark managed to let a bullet out, but he should be dead. It's the bomb, though, still headed towards the B bomb site. So Fang is going to look and say, well, there's no one here, and it's all going to be at the B bomb site. 20 seconds left. Floppy is here close. Grim not that far behind either. And they're going to get some good damage in. Headshot as he falls back down the ramp. Floppy doing it all on his own. Didn't even need the backup. Finally, Grim showing up, and they'll get another round. 15 on the board. Complexity looking great.
Yeah, there's the shit talk you wanted. There he is getting a little bit loud in the room.
I like it.
Yeah, all smiles on Complexity. They have not had a whole lot to smile about these past few months, so this is a cool win from them so far. They've got a lot of opportunities to close this map. 6 chances now to take their first victory at Blast Premier.
Yeah, and against the Navi team without Simple.
The boys are looking clean.
Not really smack talking yet. He's more hyping up the team at the moment. He hasn't gotten to the aggressive, put down the opposition phase of his career.
He'll get there. He's still young.
Yeah, he'll learn.
It'll happen. But he's upgraded from the nice. Ooh, Sundai Young getting a kill on JT. Down to Galil's here on the T side. Trying to roll any kind of momentum they can forward here. It does take a lot of damage, though. But it's true. I mean, you mentioned in the last round how Navi for a long time there's a lot of slowing down with no even map control getting gained, right? Just kind of hoping to find someone wandering into a crosshair. Need to see that change just a little bit. This time they're all grouped up at the restrooms. They got Fang up close with Polsark behind on that AWP, so could be a strong 1-2 punch. Could also be interrupted if pressure comes in from long. Fang might be on his own if Polsark has to switch out and start to look that way. Well, they know. Look at this. Bringing in Grim.
Yeah, this is perfect. What a great setup. If Polsark can take contact, Fang's in a tough position. Does he get cleared? Oh, Grim. Double kill from him. Sets up Fang. Sets up Polsark. And 16-9. Complexity have done it. An upset on map number 1 for Complexity over Navi.
It's going to be an amazing feeling. Not something that I was expecting, or looked like no one really was today. So that's an interesting way to get this day 2 started. And you know, how far can they go with it? It's a big question now.
Yeah, set the tone. How far can they go with it? And then how far can Navi go? Because there's obviously some things that they need to talk about and discuss and reset and figure out for the future of how this lineup is going to be competing in this group. But literally everyone in Complexity just feeling probably like they won the major at the moment.
Yeah, good stuff. That's unexpected.
That Dallas Star looks good in victory.
Does makes a difference.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm just I'm pleased. Fang was playing, you know, about as good as I remember when I actually do remember it.
Yeah, Fang had a great game. Grim had a great game. Polsark had a great game as well. Those 3 players were fantastic, and Complexity take that win. We're gonna get James Banks to have a conversation and see what all the jubilation is down there.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I've got a very excited Fang next to me. It's been a long time since you guys beat a team over here, right? Yeah, how does this one feel?
Oh, it feels crazy. I mean, I'm honestly at lost for words right now. I mean, obviously Navi don't have Simple, but at the end of the day, being Navi is being Navi. And for us, it's been, a tough first half of the year, and coming in this game, it's just super nice, actually get a win, play some cohesion, and just show that, we're here to play.
Now, what was the turning point, right? Because they were down 6-2, then we end up winning the half 8-7, right? You guys looking really good. But it felt to me like you guys were just playing with super confidence. You just started disrespecting them. Like, you just crispy aim. They didn't really stand a chance, mate.
I don't know. I kind of made a mid-round adjustment toward working toward A because they're playing more heavy toward B and blocking some of our, set protocols and stuff we had toward that part of the map. I think that shook them up a bit, and then J2 is just making some really good mid-round adjustments, stuff like that, and changing the tempo toward the layer power half ending B. So I don't know, it's just super well done, honestly, by everybody. It
was well done by you guys for sure. Hopefully it continues. Fang getting the job done here. We'll have to see how the rest of the games go.
I beatbox like I do the song with my mouth.
Interesting, I've never done that one before.
It's gonna be pretty hard for me to make some sounds.
Firearms is not very relaxing in my opinion.